Hello and welcome, and today is that of the first day of July, the first day of the third quarter. It is also the first day of the 2018-19 NHL season, at least officially, and it's that of Canada Day, which is the equivalency to the United States 4th of July. So I'd like to welcome you to the Money Charts channel and the Crypto Day morning. And like always, the disclaimer, all the risks that you take, well, that's your own risk, own reward from not only this video, but all other information pieces. As I'm not going to say you should be in control of your own portfolio, but in crypto space, you most likely are. And for me, risk reward management is job number one. Quick look at the Bitcoin chart, which is having a correctionary test from this last down leg within the 18 average. It managed to have two solid days, but really one beautiful move to make it up to the 18 average of highs. Today's session, which is past the halfway point at 8:40 a.m. Eastern time, is just hanging in there near the upper end, which means it's consolidating its gain. When we take a look at this on the 60-minute time frame, there is the one good rally, a couple hours going sideways, another good rally, and just hanging in there within the sideways market. So therefore, within this correctionary test, by holding right where the 18 average of lows is around 61.25, that would be enough to get this even more neutral. And if it has any weakness below that level, we're looking at the next case of bear market rally to the declining 18, and then what looks to be the next leg lower. One of the next steps is to establish a level of resistance. The 67.25 line that I got drawn in there is not Fibonacci. Rather, it's the situation in which it found support in April, which is the area of like 6,000 to 7,300 in the February low. And right now, if it's able to get above it, yeah, a small failed breakdown could be in play, but a lot of steps are needed to end the bear market, and only one right now has pretty much been in play, and that's attempt to neutralize the market. Let's transition into the market cap from coinmarketcap.com. Over the last week, the crypto markets had, well, this is the Bitcoin rally, so right now it's holding on to its gains on the chart spanning the last 3 months. This is the trend line in which it still has yet to manage to come across. So some of the key lows along the way. This one here, lower high, a little bit of a small rally here. Here, a longer one, but obviously it hit, well, that's where the resistance was established. Here again, has sideways correction. And even the current one in here. I mean, all it's done is working to attempt to neutralize the market. And it did so successfully on situations like here for an okay amount of time. But then the next move from neutral-ish went, of course, continuation down. As far as a year to date is concerned, we can draw this trend line, which broke on the April Fool's rally. But then it just failed, obviously, because you have your moments from the crypto market high, key low, key high. This is a match of previous low. Some people call it a double bottom. For me to see a double bottom, I need to see something like this, a down move, a rally, a down, then after that a down move back to where it came from. But I need to see a rally back to the neckline to complete what is a bullish pattern in that of a double bottom. I could draw a trend line now from this level, somewhere around here. So I'll be looking maybe for that to be a possibility. But overall, again, this rally we're seeing, it's just attempting to end this bear market. And until I see better confirmation yet, that's all it's going to be, is attempt to end the downtrend. And within the overall grand scheme of things, and this is a chart going back to October 4th, 2013, so close to but not quite 5 years in duration. And the $1,000 Bitcoin was here. And then it doesn't look like much of a decline although numbers wise it sure as heck was. But this was the length of the decline. We can see that the downtrend turned into an uptrend around here. Some nice higher lows along the way. But obviously this is now that of a key top. If we draw a line from the top to the approximate bottom, move this box over here, obviously it has declined very short, a lot quick, or it's been a shorter correction thus far, or the last one throughout the first little third of this chart was long. It's given back close to what it gave back the last time, looking at this, of course, from a logarithmic price scale, which is, I think, very important when you're looking at large differences, because this is a base 10. So this is 10x, 10x for 100, and then 10x for that of 1,000. So a lot of big movements along the way, and that's why I love the crypto space with having higher volatility. And we do this again with this high. And we move this over to the previous one. The original sell-off, a lot more harder on the current one. But at this time, we could have been saying the same thing back in 2014 into 2014, that this thing is at least neutralizing the trend, trying to end it. There's the neutralization, but one quick leg over, then the neutralization, and then of course ending of that of the downtrend. Let's move back onto TradingView, take a look at some charts. First, that of Steam. And we'll start off within the weekly term time frame, where you have the slow, and there's a lot of them before, which was of course at the time the lowest price crossed against Bitcoin it has ever had. And then you make a higher low on the lows at the early part of, or late part of 2017. And then we have a lower high. And then we have a higher low. And a lower high. And to be technical, the lowest point amongst the lows in March was looks like a little under 45 basis points below 20,000. This low here, 19,000. So technically a lower low, but practically a matching low. Overall, this market is it has been symmetrical for quite some time, still trying to dissolve or figure out, not dissolve, but figure out what the trend is going to be. So if it's able to break above this to the upside, that can be some spectacular moves. But the way cryptos work, it's normal to have these big moves. In the early stages here, on June 16th, 20, I have a low of 27,000. And then it goes up to like, where's a good, well, I can see it close to 90,000 on the top. That's a spectacular move. Let's take a look at this on the daily chart. And it's managed to get a lot of those losses back quite fast. And that's like all the crypto space. In that, however long it takes for markets to go down, they go up a lot faster than they go down. Now, say in this case here, was this the case here? This was a spot where it was April 27th this was like 4 weeks going up. Going down was like almost 2 months. So it barely went up faster than it went down. But in this case, not so much. It took not long at all for the markets to rally higher. Looking at this on a 60-minute time frame, I best to say this again, and I hope to say this a lot more in the next little while, because I used to say this a lot back in the day, which would have been April and then all of the end of 2017 and such, and into 2018. When markets are ready to go, they just go. So here's a spot where it went under 20,000, made a move to about 29. So therefore, close to a 50% gain from the lowest to the highest point. But again, we look at how fast this goes down versus how much quicker, or how slow it goes down rather, to how fast it goes back up? Well, if we take a look at some statistics here, on June the 10th, 2018 at 6 hours, the Steem price fell below 29,200 Satoshi. And then on June the 28th at 2100 hours, it reached 19,450, giving back very close to 10,000 Satoshi. June the 30th at 1 hour, Steem starts rallying from 19,450, and this top in here occurring today at 3 hours, that's Eastern Standard Time, and it reached the same price it fell below on October 6th. So therefore, the decline time from the high to the low was 447 hours, give or take many minutes. And the rally time, 26 hours, same thing, give or take many minutes. So in this case, almost 20 times faster, maybe somewhere close to about 17 times. Just magnificent. So what we're going to do now to finish this video is I'm going to put this on a nice intermediate, somewhat short-term time frame. Say we'll do the 3-hour time frame. And I'm going to click this button here, which will bring it to my list of codes that I have, and just go through them relatively quickly. Now what I'm going to do for now, just so we can see more of the chart, let's go like that. So we'll start off, and I'm going to go through a lot of these codes really quick. You're going to see a lot of them starting signs of, hey, things are looking pretty good. Maybe there's future potential, at least short term, still available. With ADA, here's a spot where it's had a nice little run higher. Against the this is against the tether. Now add token having its down move, and now the correctionary change, the 18 average starting to rise. We can see on this candle here how it came back down to the lows, and it's established a good level of resistance at around the 213 handle. AMP has just mainly went sideways. ARC has had its beautiful move against Bitcoin, and there's a spot where beautiful sell orders and a little bit of retracement. Bitcoin Cash against the US dollar, and then Bitcoin Cash. I can't get as much data now because Bittrex rechanged the name, and I don't mind them doing that. I just wish they would have kept the old data, because that's 1 year's worth of data to me that's lost. Blackcoin, it has had, well, it's not looking quite as good, but for myself, I mean, I've been buying and selling some of these moves. Of course, this is Bittrex. And look at this low here going down to 1700. That was only on Bittrex. I'm not trading it on that site. I'm trading it on another, and I was unable to get my buy orders deep at that time. But this coin obviously not doing quite as good. Binance coin against Bitcoin. This one is showing a lot more weakness, but it's had a lot of great gains coming in. We can see it's had this little bit of a top, looking, and just as we're seeing on the 3-hour, this major level of support where this red line's at, or current price at 22.6. This resistance in here, which is around the 24, in the area of where the support. And when I see something like this, I realize that it wouldn't be a surprise if it were to have an okay breakdown. But a lot of other ones are going good. This one isn't, and it's almost excusable, because when a lot of the other coins were getting their ass kicked, this one was doing pretty good. Against the US dollar, it's just in this range of about $13.80 and about $15. Moving on, I'm not going to show the Canadian dollar. Cannabis, it's not doing quite as well, but like I state, when it's ready to go, it's obviously going to go. Cloak is finding support at a key Fibonacci level, or trying to anyway. This is a spot where it has been in a large downtrend. But when we see these moves, look at this curve up face from before, about 68,000 up to 300. So that's about a 5x gain. So when they're ready to go, we can see when it was ready to go back in December, back last year in June. That's why if you panic sell, you're risking having a move like this happen along the way. Cyber miles and we're looking at the 3-hour time frame, but there on the daily we can see it's testing the 18 average of highs. Here it established level of resistance, this is against BNB, at the 0.01 mark, and just looking to just from this point maybe extend the gains further, because that's a pretty decent setup moving forward. CMT against Bitcoin, similar thing. CMT against the US dollar. Nice little setup there. It looks like possibly another leg higher could come into play. Civic, nice little choppy movements, but here it found support at this level, and when it's ready to go for big gains, as we have seen so many times in the past, again, it'll do it like so many others. Here's a spot 1500 up to like almost 15,000 before. Just the last April Fool's rally, it goes from the 2,500, 2,700 rather, and then it does better than double. So a lot of big volatility. Dash against the Bitcoin is obviously not doing quite as well. Just continue. This is a major grinding its way lower. It's at, of course, a major key inflection point, and it's just sorted by. Let's go sorted by percentage gain. Dash, we've got DGB on its daily chart. Nice little big spot here, because if I can hold this 18 average of lows, that would be a bullish factor. But we're looking at the possibility of the failed move, fast move higher, because it managed to break down below this key area of around 400, have this fast move, but I like how it's rallied back. And of course, looking at this on the 3-hour time frame, this is just a beautiful setup as well, because from the move up here, the 419, it comes back successfully, corrects the 18. But the last dozen or so periods in here is showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs. That's something as a trader I would be looking out for. Now, for myself, I'm just buying and selling this at my normal strategy. But if this is able to get out above here, just like it did there, you could probably have a nice leg higher. I'm going to finish this video now because it's getting a little too long, but you get the whole point of everything that as far as these markets trying to revert the downtrends. If they go down, a lot of times, at least against Bitcoin, they're going to work its way down gradually, and when they're ready to go higher, boy, do these cryptos go up very big. Thank you for tuning in to today's video, and have yourself a great day. I wasn't able to get out any videos yesterday. I felt under the weather. I'm going to hope to get a bunch more, not a bunch more, but a couple more videos out today. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.